Stories of Great Christians. We're bringing you transcribed from the radio studios of the Moody Bible Institute in Chicago, Chapter 9 in Beautiful Upon the Mountains, the story of John and Isobel Kuhn.
Doggy. Danny, love doggy.
Danny, stop it. Stop teasing that dog. Out you go. On.
My doggy.
Yes, your doggy. And someday I'm going to put both of you out on the mountain path and be done with all this nonsense, Danny. Put that dish down. Now look, you sit.
Belle? Oh, there you are.
Danny, love Daddy.
Belle, this just came from the London headquarters.
Oh?
Advise you maintain furlough schedule. So that's our answer.
I don't think I want to go, John. We're safer here. The war isn't going to reach these Lisu mountains.
Well, we're also out of touch. According to what I heard today, the Japanese are threatening the Burma Road. And the war isn't going well anywhere. It's been 3 years since the United States got into things in 1941. And things don't look good for anybody right now.
We're safer here in the mountains.
Evidently, the mission thinks we'll be safe traveling now. They're dubious about later.
John, we might not get back.
Danny, find doggy.
Stay here. Sit down and be still, please.
We'll get to Kunming somehow, and they'll fly us out over the hump to Calcutta. And then the rest of the way by ship.
I can't make a trip like that with a 15-month-old boy.
Look on the bright side, Belle. Kathy's been repatriated to the States. We're sure of that now. It'll be quite a reunion.
You're right, and quite an adventure, no matter what happens.
Something more for you to write about.
I suppose I could look at it that way.
I figured you would, sooner or later.
You know, John, I might even have more time to write on furlough.
Oh, don't count on it.
Sometimes I think maybe you're jealous because people want to read something I've written. You could have written a book yourself if you hadn't been so busy making lists and schedules.
Yes, well, I've got one right here for you. If we're going to get over the hump before the snow, we'll have to keep right on schedule, Belle. Here, let me show you this little list.
Down, walk.
No, Danny, we can't go out and walk. Come here. Look out the window with Mother. See the people? John, did you ever see so many people? I didn't know Calcutta was like this.
Well, we're going to be looking at Calcutta people for a while.
What did you find out at the transportation office?
There aren't any passenger ships. Troop ships, that's all. The mission's put us on a troop ship. Nobody knows when the next one is sailing, and when it does, it isn't going to be luxury accommodations. They won't even tell us our destination until we land.
Now look, I rounded up all you ladies so you could all hear what I have to say, and I don't have to waste my time repeating it. Hey, will you shut that brat up, ma'am? This ship is no luxury liner. We got no accommodations for babies and children. Fact is, we got no accommodations for women on a troop ship. We're taking you out of charity. Don't expect no baby food either. There isn't a deck on the whole ship safe for kids. It's your business to watch your own. If a kid falls overboard, the ship will not stop to pick it up. Any questions?
Captain, where are the laundry rooms?
You got a wash basin in your cabin. Anything else?
Can we eat with our husbands?
You ladies got half an hour to get your food, feed your kids, and get out of the dining room. If you want to spend it chatting with your husband, I guess that's your business.
Funny man.
No, Danny. Shh. Danny, come back here. Come back with me. You will stay in line. Yes, Danny, you do like French fries.
No.
You will We'll eat them.
Won't.
Open your mouth.
Here, Mrs. Kuhn, give me that young redhead. You need help.
Yes.
Should have had my wits about me. Should have done something before. Hello there, young fella. Isn't he cute?
Yes.
Now look here, Mother. From now on, I'm going to be your self-appointed nurse. Another pair of hands. Meal times, nap times. Any time you need.
Thank you, thank you. You're my, what is it in the Psalms? My door of escape?
After 36 days at sea, the troop ship was again in sight of land. The Atlantic coast? The Pacific? Nobody knew until the night before arrival at a Northern California dock. From the docks directly to the China Inland Mission headquarters in Los Angeles. And there, Belle and John put in a long-distance call to the mission in Philadelphia.
She's on the line, Belle. You talk first.
Catherine, this is your mother. We landed this morning. How are you, Catherine?
Oh, Mother!
Later in one of her books, Belle looked back at the year 1944 and tried to tell other people.
But after the whole experience is over, you will look back and you will be amazed at the way you have been carried along by a power not your own. The time will come when you will stand, look back and gasp, how mightily was the hand of our God with us, yet we knew it not. Be a good girl, Kathy. Take your little brother out in the backyard for a while.
Come on, Danny. Mother has a headache.
No.
Here's his red ball. You're a big help, Kathy.
Catch the ball, Danny.
There, that ought to help for a while.
Belle, you're as tense as you were 6 months ago when we came here to Philadelphia.
Didn't you want some peace and quiet around here?
Well, Danny wasn't bothering me.
I know. I thought I'd feel better after 6 months in the States. Everybody's so kind. Your sister's wonderful, John. But you're right. I don't feel any better.
What do you want to do?
Get away by myself. Don't look so shocked.
Oh, I don't see much chance of it.
I do. For once, I'm the one who's thought it all out ahead. Only I don't have any lists made up. John, if you're going to take seminary work in Dallas, somebody has to find us a place to live.
Sure.
Why not me?
You're not up to it.
John Kuhn, give me a week without a 2-year-old boy wanting his breakfast every morning at 6, and I'll be a new woman.
On your own in Dallas?
Spending all our financial resources on a little house of our own and furnishing it. Yes, John, I can't think of anything I'd like to do better.
Oh, you do have a room? After what you told me last week. Yes, I see. Well, a month. Yes, she wants it for a month. Good. Very good. I'll send her right over. You are very, very lucky, Mrs. Kuhn. But I must be honest with you. This hotel is not in a good section. The room will be substandard, though probably clean.
Does it have a bed?
Of course.
A dresser? A chair?
I should hope so.
Then it's not substandard. That's all I ask. I've just come from China. I've stayed in inns and shanties and cottages. All I ask is a clean bed and one window that opens.
These are war times. Real estate is very tight.
$6,000. You want a house in Dallas for $6,000 with a fenced-in backyard.
Wartime, ma'am. You don't understand.
Well, Lord, here I am in Dallas. I wonder what adventure you have for me.
Mrs. Kuhn, you are a very, very fortunate woman.
Oh, it's a sweet little house. My family will love it.
I hope your family realizes what a persistent woman you are.
I think they do.
Well, everything you asked for. A 2-bedroom cottage within walking distance of seminary for your husband and a high school for your daughter.
And a fenced-in backyard for my overactive son.
The price tag is incredible. $4,500.
All I can pay, really. We still have money to buy furniture.
Girls, it's a wonderful privilege for the Dallas Seminary student wives to have a real live writer come to talk to us. I've read her book, and it's been a mighty wonderful blessing. That's because Roger and I have answered the Lord's call to the mission field, too. But then you don't want to hear about that, do you? Girls, I want to introduce the dear, sweet lady who wrote Precious Things of the Lasting Hills. It's the story of the way the Lord has blessed her as she witnessed for him among the pagan tribes of Lisu land. Is that how you pronounce it, Mrs. Kuhn? Honestly, I don't see how she could have done all the things she did and still find time to write, too. Girls, Mrs. Isobel Kuhn.
She has a marvelous sense of humor. I want to hear this.
Going to study tonight, John?
Belle, you know I always study on Wednesday nights.
Yes, John, I know. You've got a wonderful schedule all worked out, and I admire you for it. That's why you're such a great mission superintendent.
What are you going to do?
I might finish up my kitchen curtains. Or I might go over and help Jody with her knitting. Kathy and I might stay home and play Monopoly.
Well, make up your mind. Knowing you, you may do all three. You've certainly got all your old energy back.
The summer of 1945 and the end of the war came as a surprise to the Kuhns in Texas and to the other CIM missionaries who had taken refuge in Hong Kong. But it happened, and everybody was living suddenly in a new world. That fall, 2 China Inland Mission leaders sat down at a teakwood desk in a Hong Kong office to talk about the strategy of getting the gospel to this new world.
I hope you're aware, Bishop Houghton, of how much this decision from CIM headquarters will disrupt our families.
Furthering God's work often is disruptive, Tom, but never destructive. God knows I don't want to ask our superintendents to go back a full year ahead of their wives and children, but there's no other way to keep our mission functioning in a post-war world.
I'm thinking of the Kuhn family, for instance. They've had less than a year together, with the daughter, I mean. Kathy was sent back to the States ahead of them, and besides, I know he was counting on a whole year at Dallas.
And, well, he could, before the bomb. Who knew the war was going to end when it did? Tom, you and I both know Kuhn. As director of the China work, you know the kind he is. He'll want to go back to China as soon as we can get him there. And I think we can book passage for January 46.
That's soon.
There's nothing to hold it up now. China's wide open.
Thank God for that. Yet, well, it's your decision as director, but what about Isobel Kuhn?
Well, they have relatives in Philadelphia. Isobel can very nicely go back there with the children.
But how'll she take this? I heard she had sort of a hard time with, I don't know what it was, maybe depression or physical exhaustion.
Yeah, it's true. But she's a remarkable woman. Why, for a while she was living up there in Lisu land all alone. Once she came out of Yunnan province in an army truck, all alone, except for one little Chinese girl. Went back the same way, determined to go back. They brought her down the mountains on a stretcher, and still she went back.
I know. Big help to him, teaching, writing. She'll get along all right.
No, Tom, I don't worry about Isobel Kuhn. She won't like her husband leaving, but Isobel can handle herself very capably.
And so we conclude Chapter 9 of Beautiful Upon the Mountains, the transcribed story of John and Isobel Kuhn. This is another in the series, Stories of Great Christians, produced by the Department of Broadcasting of the Moody Bible Institute in Chicago.